Hey, what's up, everybody? Those who join us on live on WFSO one and also on YouTube. So, why I explain to people that's watching on WFSO two on Twitch that we know the wife's gonna have some things to talk about. That's why we combine the shows WFSO After Dark and the Jones Chronicles. So we'll get to
Tell me
that.
what I've just seen.
What the hell?
I'm confused.
I think I'm more confused than you. I mean, I'm all for like getting in shape and
Hmm.
like muscling up without using the juice, but dang, that's insane. But there's probably just gonna be like not much wrestling to talk about today. So not gonna talk about it that much. Probably gonna check out a Bucks video and they saying what they think about the Bucks so far. So we're gonna watch that. Um, Also, I rarely talk about the Brewers, which I rarely do, but I think this topic about the Brewers today needs to be talked about, and I think the wife is going to share her opinion, and I'm going to share my opinion on like what the owner of the Brewers said. Plus, a little bit of what's going on in downtown, and plus, the person they think who should play Magneto, but some fans are like 50-50 against it, and from a like YouTuber was saying that if this person played him, it wouldn't make any sense. But I will share my opinions on that. So let me just get set up here, and we will get started. And plus, I'm going to repeat the same thing to the people that's going to be watching on pre-recorded, and just explain to them before we actually get started. What? Oh yeah, Facebook. Huh. Now they promoting that. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, it was Marvel. Let's see the Marvel updates. Oh yeah, man, I got a lot of stuff to catch up on. I forgot about Spider-Man. The final two episodes of the season. Let's see. Let's see if they had like what I want to talk about on here before we move on. Hey, what's up, No No? And day's been good so far. The all goat. Sorry if I said your name wrong, but yeah, appreciate the likes so far. So appreciate the love. So thank you guys. Um, for those who had joined us, we combined it. Hey Christopher Berry. Um, we're just gonna talk about like a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but mainly like almost everything. But I think they do not have that one topic I was going to talk about that we're going to talk about last, but I probably would just talk about it anyway because yeah, they really don't have it on here on this page, but we're probably going to talk about it anyway. And yeah, so mainly what we're going to be talking about is like my day is good. Thanks for asking. Um, I like the name Batman in Nevada. Hey, what's up? I like that name. Okay. So who those who just joined us, I'm going to explain to you like I'm going to explain on the when I record this pre-recorded episode. So let me just do that. We're gonna click on that and There we go. Yeah, sadly, I didn't. Hey, what's up, Thomas Rollerson? If I got your last name wrong, I apologize. Um, like I said, for those who just joined, I'm going to explain it right now, like what we're going to be talking about and why. You can see the combination of the show. We will explain about that. And oh, you ain't doing your show on TikTok?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Banned from TikTok for doing lives for 2 days.
Really? God, TikTok is something else.
Go and ask me why.
Okay. Why?
Just say fuck Donald Trump on live this week.
Yeah. So they really is on him. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just very stupid. Oh, what's the goal for YouTube? Like the goal for this month is to get like 500 subscribers, but the main goal is to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So 1,000 is the main goal, and 500 is just the goal for this month.
And if he gets to the goal before the end of our show for the today, like for the 500 by the end of today, the end of this show, I won't nag him until next week. Hey, I kept to it. You got to your goal that first when that week that I said it, and I
Yeah,
didn't nag you that entire weekend.
yeah, that's true.
So yeah, help your boy out, folks.
But I think the wife doesn't know this, but I'm going to announce it in a second too. So let me just go on here to start the pre-record it in
The
three,
bowl sackages.
2, 1. I don't have anything for what she just said.
Oh, you love me.
I have no comment for that. There's gonna be times that she's gonna say something out of the ordinary, and I'm not gonna have no comments about it because like stump. That's mainly what it is. Stump.
Hurt that. You would think that I would say something so out of left field.
That should be your new show, Hazel's Out of
I,
Left
I mean,
Field.
I would never say something like Donald Trump looks like a rusty testicle that's been dipped in anal fluid. I mean, I'd never say.
I wonder that's why this other guy had left since he heard that. Hmm. I apologize, guys. But for those that's watching the pre-recorded episode, and I don't know why is it frozen. Maybe I probably got like too much stuff on here. But I will explain everything for hopefully it's still showing, although like it froze on my end. So hopefully, it still is. Oh wow, everything is frozen. This ain't good. So if y'all can hear me through the pre-recorded episode, okay, yeah, it's kind of lagging a little bit. That's what it is. But anyways, what we're gonna talk about today is like, the wife is gonna talk about, some topics or whatever she wants to talk about. So we're gonna end up letting her go first. And we like kind of like give feedback for each other. Hey, I appreciate it, Chris. Thank you. Um Otherwise, we're gonna talk about a little bit of wrestling, but it's just mainly just gonna be like one subject that we're gonna talk about when it comes to wrestling. Look at a little bit of a Bucks video. Also talk about the Brewers, which I rarely do, but I just thought today would be just that day to really say something about it. A little bit of stuff that's going on in the city, like development wise, and yeah, you do need that.
No, I'm letting Mike borrow it.
Oh, he needs it.
Yeah, it's got a huge knot in it.
Ooh.
It's like he lifted something that was like too heavy or something.
Oh, okay. Making him do the heavy work.
Could be.
Well, that's mainly what it is. Is like my roommate, like his job is like, of course you're gonna have like one job you mainly supposed to do, but with my roommate, they making them do like multi things just to try to keep them busy. And there's people like in the restaurant that not even like busy themselves, like they done what they're doing, but they just sitting and chatting, but they go on him. I think I think it was the shift manager got something against him. So I don't know what it is, but yeah, they got something against him, and it's kind of sad. But I got an idea. Let's see if that will close out, and we just worry about the rest of it later, and everything will catch back up. But anyways, couple of developments in downtown Milwaukee we will talk about, and also what we will talk about is if you are some comic book fans, we will talk about the person that people are thinking will play Magneto. So that's what we will get to. That probably be the last topic that we talk about of the show. Um, I guess the wife is making her tea, so what I'm gonna do if I can move this.
You're all I need to get by, my love.
Although it was
Life's sweet morning dew. I took one look at you, and it was plain to see you are my ecstasy.
I thought it was Destiny.
No, you my ecstasy.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm gonna have to change the lyrics whenever I ever sung the song the way it's meant to be sung.
Very true. Didn't even think about it. But anyway, since it's gonna take her a minute to get in here, so we will let her talk as soon as I'm done with this. So what we're gonna start? We're gonna start with a little bit of wrestling. As I'm looking at this article that y'all probably see on the screen if y'all watching this pre-recorded. Um,
What do you see? No personality.
I think you're okay. I don't think we're at the 1,000 subscribers for
I
you
ain't
to
gonna
censor
say it.
yourself. Yeah, I don't think we at the 1,000 subscribers yet for us to be, censor or something like that. But anyways, according to this, this report that we're looking at through Wrestling Incorporated. So if you want your wrestling news, you can check them out. They're saying there's multi New Japan Pro Wrestling contracts are set to expire. So I'm thinking, from this picture right here, I think that's Scott Hall's son. Believe this is one of them, but I'm just gonna look. So let's see. It has become common in recent years. A number of top talents in New Japan Pro Wrestling reached to the end of their contracts around the time the company's biggest event of the year, Wrestle Kingdom, arrives. So they had their Wrestle Kingdom last month, and I think they had like another show like right after Wrestle Kingdom. I'm not sure what it was. Um, I'm sorry, I just don't follow New Japan Pro Wrestling that much. It's just they do their pay-per-views like shown around the world, and I think like the prices on some of these is ridiculous. And I understand they got their own platform, like you can go on their website and you can watch shows and stuff like that. But until I get like a affordable second job out, I will do that then, but not right now. Um, let's see who's on the end of their deals. David Finley, Gabe Kidd, Zack Sabre Jr., which he is their current world champion. Um, let's see if there's more. Um, okay, Kevin Knight is another person. Okay, but he has been doing some ROH episodes. ROH really needs to get a TV deal. They really do. Just ridiculous. But well, I know TNA kind of does the same thing, but they at least got like a network. But it's like when you pay for it, like cable wise and stuff like that, you got to pay extra for the channel. So you know, kind of a little bit of a difference. Since they haven't been on Spike TV, just been that insane. Um, okay, so that's pretty much it. So okay, I thought like somebody like big or something like that. Um I forgot what Scott Hall's son's name is because he just got his picture on there. So I'm thinking like I cannot remember his name for the life of me. But yeah, they okay. That's a little bit too far. But yeah, they just named a few people, so there's probably more that's
Libby.
probably be released. But I'm thinking half of these guys probably gonna end up going to AEW, and hopefully, AEW know how to use them. Which lately, with some of their people, they do not. So it's like whatever. So we're gonna move on from that. And is there any topic you want to talk about?
It's freaking cold weather.
Yeah, if y'all don't live here in Milwaukee, I think right now is like oh,
It's,
she's gonna look.
let's see what bullshit we're living at right now.
Yeah, for the past 2 days, well, I'm
10 degrees and it feels like -7. So it's a warm up.
a little bit of a warm up today, but
And
like
it's supposed to be 23 tomorrow. So,
that's still, yeah, a little bit of a warm up, so
but
a little bit better,
I
but
don't
still.
know. For those of you who haven't tuned in when I've been here before, um, I also have a condition that's called MS. And I also have lasting effects from a nasty accident I have, which causes my left elbow. If you hear during a show my elbow, like bones cracking, that's my elbow.
Yeah, and it has.
It was dislocated and it had rotated 180 degrees the wrong way. In this accident, I had two breaks in my forearm that they didn't notice because of how bad the dislocation was. And those breaks had actually caused fragments of bone in the fatty part of my arm. Now, I know for everybody who knows me, it's like, well, you have to describe where the fatty part of your arm is because you're fatty all over. But no, for those who can see, move your head a little bit. This part right here. So I have floating bone tissue, and if I do that and push in, I can actually feel it. What happens is they migrate and get it stuck in my joint here, and I'll do it out straight. Nothing's in there at the moment, so that's good. And it'll crack. But this cold weather has been a nightmare. I can honestly say my pain levels are so high up right now that it's almost cry worthy. That's how it feels. It's how painful it is. But it's one of those things where I have to push through and I have to push through because where am I going to get if I sit there and cry because the pain hurts?
Right.
I have to, no one else is going to do the cooking or cleaning. I have to work through the pain and get things done. So, I try and carry on as best I can. But it's kind of got me, the cold has just got me in that mood of like, I need a full body rub down on everything that hurts. Because I also have on my left leg from my hip down to my knee, it goes extremely numb. And when it goes numb, we know I have to slow down or I'm going to fall down. So if I could get help with that, that would be lovely. And this cold weather, see, the cold is good for it, like when it's around the freezing mark. It's when it drops significantly below. We've been significantly below consistently for a week, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
And with that, that doesn't help with my pain levels, doesn't help with any of that whatsoever. So,
I understand, Chris. See you later.
bye, Chris. Excuse me. So, dealing with that hasn't been fun, and it hasn't really put me in the best frame of mind. So,
Right, and especially the winter times is like bad for like people with mental health, like myself.
well, the snow doesn't help on top of that. We literally had 2 snowstorms, didn't we, back to back? Well, 3 actually, back to back last week.
I think it was 2 here, but I think it was 3 for
3
where
for
you
me.
were at. Yeah.
Because I was down in Racine for part of it.
Right.
And, that doesn't help. It really doesn't. And what didn't help was when I was in Racine, my friend's husband, wanted to order food. Well, because of how bad the snow was, nobody was delivering. You could only do Uber Eats for pickup. So he made us go and pick went out in a blizzard, basically. And it was scary because you really could not see more than to the end of the car. And people had their hazard lights flashing.
So he couldn't be
So
happy
you
with
can
homemade
see.
food.
No, and the thing was, I'll say this, part of it was my fault because Maggie was like, well, we should just have frozen pizza. And I don't like the frozen pizza that they get. I don't like the taste of the sauce. And I said, I'm sorry, but I don't like the taste of the sauce. What else you got? But my thing was, I just say, what else you got?
Yeah.
You know, so I was up for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And then the other issue that we're facing right now is with our nonprofit is one, we've got to make $650 by May 1st.
Oh, well, 650. Okay.
Yeah, by May 1st. And we've had one donation of $20. You know, and that's disheartening because I want to be able to turn this bridge pink and blue again. And I've got so many people saying, well, I'll be there because I like the goodie bag you handed out last time. Well, I can't hand out a goodie bag if you guys don't help me get the bridge done.
Right.
You know, and it just seems lately that everybody is just take. You know, and we desperately need to make that. And then with Joanne Fabrics into bankruptcy, it's like, okay, now I have to realign and think of the way that we go forward with doing certain things. And yeah, at the moment, the one at Greenfield's going to stay open. But when we were at the one in Racine on the weekend, the manager was telling people who were in line for the fabric that basically what happened was they had a buyer.
Okay.
The buyer said it is not prudent for us and too expensive for us to buy all 800 stores.
Oh.
So you have to, what we'll do is if you declare bankruptcy and shut down 500 stores, we will buy the other 300 and keep them open.
Wow.
So that's what Joanne's did. This company has now said they're not sure they even want to buy the 300. Joanne's had another buyer.
Okay.
No, had.
Oh, had.
Another buyer. That other buyer pulled out because of this one buyer and is not interested now. So you've got, you know, that's where the problem is. And the problem for me is I won't shop at Hobby Lobby for fabrics. I go to Hobby Lobby now and then, but I have issues with their policy in regards to the LGBTQ community and their overtly religious rhetoric. You know, Hobby Lobby is a, if nobody else has it, I'll go there and look type of thing. The only other fabric place that I'm going to be able to get cheap fabric is Michael's, and that's hit and miss.
So I think there ain't that many of them around, is there?
Well, there's Michael's in 27th Street, and there is one in Racine.
Yeah, I forgot.
Both of them do sell fabric, and it is decently priced. But it's not the good quality. I'll put it that way.
Okay. So yeah, I forgot they opened that one on 27th Street back, but they moved it.
They moved it to a smaller store.
Yeah, smaller store. Yeah.
So there's that issue. And the other things, there's quilting stores around that sell really good quality fabric, but I can't afford like $15 for a yard. If I've got $15 for fabric, I want to be able to buy 3 yards, you know, to be able to make more of what I can.
Right.
So, and that also leads me to a thing that,
hey, Ramon,
you know, I can't be so picky over what I said. When people say, are there any restrictions to what colors? I can't now say, yes, we don't wish this, and this, because we're in that position of we can't be fussy anymore.
Right.
And it's upsetting. And plus my views on YouTube aren't climbing. Facebook's not pushing us on Facebook, and TikTok I'm getting about 120 views.
Yeah, you said it was the reason that Facebook was stopping that or something like that.
Facebook's not pushing those who go against the Trump administration rhetoric, and which is what's happening with TikTok as well right now.
Oh my Lord.
And my thing is, and I'm not going to go for that. My nonprofit is a non-political entity. We will help anybody who comes to our door. We are not going to follow any one set of policies or politics. If you bring that to what we do, you're going to be asked to leave, regardless of what side you're running for. Personally, if you know me, you know where my political standpoint is. And that's all that matters on that side. But we're not doing this thing. And Facebook now and TikTok, and some people are saying it's even on Instagram. And I don't use Instagram enough to, look. But, we're not getting pushed and people just aren't donating. And it's heartbreaking because, people are wanting, like, give me, let me have this, let me do that, let me give this, let me give that. And there's, well, I can help you, but I need help too. And they're like, well, why should I? Because when you look up the worth of our company, the name of our company has a high amount of money attached to it. That doesn't mean that money is liquidated in our bank accounts because it's
Mm-hmm.
not. We wouldn't be
Right.
living in the fucking hood if we were.
Right.
It's the name that has the value. But on the other side of things, I don't want to be getting credit cards and stuff in our business name when we don't have the revenue coming in to be able to pay those off. So we're in that kind of catch-22 situation, and it's making me feel depressed because I feel like a complete failure right now. And I have done for the past week or so.
But yeah, it will get better. Like I said, we got a lot of time, to do the bridge and stuff like that. WFSO is going to put some money towards it as well. So
I'm sorry. This is when your girl says she doesn't want anything from McDonald's, but you turn your head over and find her like this. That is me.
yeah, that's funny. Uh, were there any other topics you want to talk about?
No, I'm just sad.
Okay,
I feel
so
like a failure.
although I'm promoting her channel, y'all please look at her channel. Please subscribe to it. It has the Maddie Mary logo on it, and also if you see like Hazel Jones 9, that's her channel. So
I'll
please,
jump in the chat so people can find me quickly.
okay, yeah, she'll put it on the YouTube chat. But you guys that's watching like through Twitch, I just explained it like it's Hazel Jones 9, or look for the Maddie's Mary logo when you see when you type Hazel Jones, it will be like right there. So
It's you. Look, it's you.
and I bet you it's probably like what, like 10 seconds behind. So while she do that, I am gonna announce something that I was shocked to really see today. Before we talk about the Buck stuff, we gonna talk about this, and I know I was gonna say that I'm gonna mention this to her. And good news. And plus with that subscription that Chris just did, we're right now 9 subscribers away from 500. So that's pretty good. And like I said, we can get there by the end of the next week. And but like I mentioned, y'all, the main goal is like at least to get to 1,000 subscribers. If we get more than 1,000 subscribers, that's good. But I'm not going to end up pushing it like all these other YouTubers do.
You should.
I know, but I just think that if people, if they're interested in the channel, they're interested in the channel. So point blank. So I'm not gonna like force feed it to y'all or anything like that. But if y'all like what we do, and we'll keep doing what you're doing, because without you guys, it will be no us. So I just thought I would share that, and yeah, 491 subscribers, and when I checked, I think it was the day before yesterday that we was like at 471. So all this within like 24 to 48 hours with 491 subscribers. That's amazing. So
Let's see what I've got.
oh, you hate those pop-ups.
12.
12. Come, come on, y'all. She needs 50 subscribers, so please subscribe. But anyways, like moving on, what we gonna y'all probably be able to hear it, but the people that's watching the pre-recorded this video about the Bucks, like this guy's opinion about that what they did in the trade deadline was good. But there are some people and some fans that just like whatever. And then again, you also got some of your mini sexuals that thinking that it's not benefiting because they miss Chris Mills. Um, like y'all got to think about business wise before y'all think about things personally. And I think that's what happened ever since that championship year. They was more focused about trying to keep most of the core together. And although some of them aging and they're not increasing, but they're decreasing. Okay, that's her Queen stuff. So she is a big fan of Queen.
What makes you think that?
Well, they're from your area, and they also do play good music.
Yes, they do.
So,
Something Freddie.
oh,
Or
you
should
gonna
I say Auntie Freddie?
no, because that thing I know they was. I want to fall down and never get back up. That's funny. But anyways, let me play this video for y'all. You guys on the live will get to hear it and record it. Of course, you get to see it. But if y'all want to watch the pre-recorded version of this, right after we're done, I'm gonna try to put up there right away. But it's probably gonna take like no
The
more
Queen
than
song comes to mind. Here we stand and here we fall. History won't carry on.
that's crazy. But anyways, if y'all want to see like the pre-recorded episode of this, it will take at least like within the hour just to put it up there. But then again, you know how YouTube can get. So, anyways, let's just play this.
Make the best.
Trade deadline was supposed to make it younger, they get more athletic, they get less expensive, and they get a guy that can play more than 24 minutes at a high level as a third star. Now it's been an up and down season for the Bucks so far. They started the year 2-8, everything looked horrible, and then they win 23 of their next 32 games, going 23-9 over that stretch. But then they kind of fell off again, losing 7 of their next 11 games. Now, with the All-Star break coming to a close and Giannis hopefully getting back to great health and being back on the court, this Bucks team should be primed for another run because they now have Kyle Kuzma, Kevin Porter Jr., and they're starting to get Dame involved more and more.
Don't forget about Jericho
Dame Lillard
Sims,
has been
which
hoping
Doc is not
for this
using.
Milwaukee Bucks team. With Giannis missing some time, he's missed the last 6 games. Dame Lillard has taken it upon himself to carry this squad. Now, the Bucks have been a little bit inconsistent as of late, like we just talked about. But over the last 4 games played, Dame put up 33 a night with 9.3 assists, 6.3 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game. And he did that on 50% shooting from the field and 39% from three on 11.5 attempts. But in games against the Sixers, like you see here, and the Warriors the other night, he's been going even crazier. Over his last 2 games, he's averaging 40.1 points per game, 7.5 assists, and 6 rebounds. The dude put up 81 points over the course of 2 games. He has been balling as of late, and that's he's still got it. Even at 34, he has still got it. And the Bucks are finally starting to see if you get him going early, that helps the team out a lot. Because Giannis, he can sleepwalk his way into 30 and 15. That just happens over the course of the game. He is undeniable. But Dame is a guy that the opponents will try to take out of the game. You've got to get him going early and often, and then let Giannis take over throughout the course of the game. You didn't start your business to do taxes. Good thing we did.
And you gotta hate these sometimes. Let's see, did they still got that? Okay, so this is like after the first half of the season. Dame with 26 points a game, 8 assists, might have said 5 rebounds and 1.2 steals in 36 minutes per game. Which some of these players like when it comes to the season, they shouldn't be playing that much because you want to rest them for the playoffs. But every coach is different. So what more do I know, right?
25.8 points per game, about 8 assists per game to go with that, 7.5 on the dot. And he's shooting 45% from the field and 38% from three on 8 attempts from beyond the arc. He is 10th in the NBA in scoring this year, and at 34 years old, that is very, very impressive. He might be one of the more underrated guards in the league right now, just because of his age. And Milwaukee, they're kind of up and down. But Giannis is a man that has not been up and down this season. He's been balling no matter what. He's averaging 31.8 points per game.
32 points per game.
1.8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1.3 blocks.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back to that part. So mainly it's 32 points a game. Second in the league in scoring. Number 5 in rebounds. With I would say about 12 rebounds a game. Okay, I didn't know he increased a little bit in assists with 6 assists per game. I didn't know that.
I'm surprised considering I'm past the goddamn bowl.
It's just like sometimes he does, but he need to do it more.
He is a hongo. He thinks he is the Milwaukee Bucks. We've played without him and won games, and the team plays pretty damn good without him. When he's not playing with his ego, he's a good player. But he is turned into another one who, thinks he's God's gift to basketball, and it's just irritating. He's like really irritated. I think he's arrogant. I do not like him. Period. And you can write home and tell your mama about that.
And she has her other reasons too for not liking him, but that's her to decide if she want to say it. But
other reasons are the foundation. 2 actual other reasons. The foundation he set up in his father's name, he said was going to help where he came from in Greece, fair enough, and was going to help organizations here in Milwaukee. And that's perfectly fine. Great. We applied for one of the grants and we were turned down for it. I don't have a problem with that. We get turned down for grants all the time. Don't have a problem. What I have a problem with was the wording that was used in that turn down. To me, it was very unprofessional. It was very rude. And it, to me, just showed the whole thing, in my opinion, was for show. You don't write back and say to someone, you can say at this particular time, we are choosing to issue these grants to other people in other organizations also doing good things in the community. We wish you the best on your endeavors, which is what we got from Drew Holiday's foundation when we applied from them.
Right.
It was very polite, absolutely polite. They said we send what the work that you have done. However, as you can appreciate, we're up against a whole lot of good organizations. It was very professional. The one that I got from the foundation that Giannis set up with his father, in honor of his father, and I know it's not him directly, but as the person who founded it, everything comes back to him. Just the way if anybody of my volunteers...
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you. Just like if any of my volunteers said anything out of sorts while working for Maddie's memory, it comes back on me. Okay. So the response that we got basically said, I wish I kept it. And I was so angry I just deleted it right away, and I really shouldn't have. Basically, it said, you haven't been successful in applying for this. Yours is an organization that we're not interested in because it doesn't uplift the community. Baby death is something that needs to be addressed privately. That to me is the wrong thing to say, especially then when his wife was at the Black Maternal Health Convention last year as a keynote speaker, talking about her issues with pregnancy and postpartum depression and all of that kind of thing. So, yeah, that's where my irritation there comes from. My other irritation from there comes from the fact that he has made it almost impossible for you to get support from the Milwaukee Diaper Mission, which is also one of the organizations he and his wife finance and donate to, because they have come back when I've reached out to them in regards to donations and stuff for needy families. They've come back and said, well, we have to follow strict guidelines set forth by Giannis's foundation.
Oh.
And I've heard that is absolute bullshit. But either way, that's another reason. To me, is, as I say, I have no problem with somebody who's issuing grants saying, I'm sorry you're not successful at this time. It's your company. You can do it to who you want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no issue there. So I don't want anybody getting me wrong. Absolutely no issue. You can put your money wherever you want it to go. But you need to get people who can write back to people respectfully, or don't reply at all. Because we've had people who not replied to us when we've applied for grants.
Right.
We're just like, well, we didn't get that one, and moved on.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are your name is behind that company, and you're touting off to everybody at how community based and everything you are, and yet you're telling people that your organization that helps families who've experienced the loss of a child should be kept private and not a public thing. Fuck you, fuck your organization, and fuck you as a basketball player. Because your name is behind that, and you should be making sure that your staff who are working for you are professional.
That is a good point.
Rant over with.
And yes, it is. So sorry, y'all. Let me try to tangle this for a second.
I apologize to everybody for going on a rant like that. But
no, it was needed. When
you hear things like that from somebody in a position like he is in, from his company, it's heartbreaking, to be honest with you. Do I want to be the mom of a dead child? No, I don't. I hate being the mother of a dead child.
I think everybody does, whoever experienced it.
I hate it. I want my son here. I want to be, telling my son to go to bed and him arguing with me because his dad's doing his show. I don't get that. And the fact that your people and your company are that goddamn rude, fuck you and your company. Fuck you and your basketball playing skills. Fuck you.
And you see, that's why she don't like him.
Yep.
That's her opinion, but I do respect it too, and I understand what she's going through.
See, my thing is, you respect it because you understand what I'm going through, but you weren't the one who received that email, so you don't get.
No, I get.
But I'm saying it doesn't hit you as hard because you weren't the one who filled out all of the grant paperwork, submitted everything, and then it just you feel exposed,
right,
and belittled when someone does that. That's what it is.
Yeah, I do get that. And either we put this out there and stuff like that, there's gonna be like fans that's not gonna be like supporting us or anything like that.
Do you know what? They don't have to support me. I'm not asking them. I would like it if people supported me, but it's down to them. If they don't want to support me because of my opinion on Giannis, then fine. Simple as that. It's no big deal. Fine. But I'm entitled to feel the way I feel based on the response I got.
Right.
As I say, if it had come back, like when we applied for the Drew Holiday one, how many did he say that he got from Milwaukee area? It was like hundreds.
Yeah.
And they went for organizations and for companies that him and his wife felt a connection to. Perfectly fine. Totally get it. The email response we got back was that I'm sorry we received X amount of, grant applications, unable to do all of them. We would love to help everybody, but unfortunately we can't. Just know that we have seen what work that you have done, and we commend you for your work and hope that you apply again in the future. That to me Chef's kiss on responses.
Right.
Because if you remember when I got that response, I came to you and I'm like, we didn't get the Drew one. And you were like, well, did they say why? Oh no, they just had like so many. They were going with what they felt like. Then when they did the showed on local TV, those people who got it, we were like, oh, we know that one. That one's up that way.
Mhm.
We go past there on the bus.
Right.
You know, because that was the strawberry one. You know, they do chocolate covered strawberries and these really great cupcakes and treats. Oh my God, let me tell you. You know, then there was it's a LBGTQIA plus shelter for youth, and I'm actually friends
I know
with
you're
them.
talking about.
I'm
Yeah.
friends with them on Facebook, and they've sent some of their youth our way who've experienced loss, and I've sent people their way who, you know, have gone through that, and you know, they got one, and it's like, oh my God, that's fabulous! Look, they got it! Oh my God, you know, and so there is a lot, and I'm glad that those people who got the grants from Giannis's foundation got their grants. We were at a open house type thing for one of those, a nutrition thing in Milwaukee, and they received a grant from him, and I'm glad that they got it. I really am. But it's just hurtful and to be rude how you respond to someone like that.
Right. I get it. Hey, you bestie. You finally got here, so that's great.
Who's it?
On YouTube, you bestie.
Oh,
You know, half the people don't put their real name.
no, I was like, I thought you were talking to someone and calling them your bestie. I'm like, who's that?
No,
Like,
no. That's
my bad.
that's the person's name.
Okay.
Okay.
So I apologize. I had to go on my rant. You asked me what I wanted to say. There's my rant.
Yeah. You have your right to. So
Yes, I do.
yeah, there you
I
go.
don't like it. Okay, kiss my ass. And I'm trying to calm down by cutting fabric and getting ready to start on my queen quilt. And I'm fucking up the fabric. Look. I'm fucking up the fabric.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I think I kind of see what you were trying to do.
Yeah,
but
I gotta come back. I gotta. Hazel.
Woosah.
Joann's has gone out of business. Can't buy more of this particular fabric.
Say woosah. Woosah.
Can of beer.
Well, he got that real American beers in there.
Oh my God, I'm really fucking this fabric up. Oh, help me. Okay.
Look, we got her so mad she's turning red in the face.
No, I'm getting upset because I fucked up fabric that I won't be able to replace because Joann's is going out of business. They don't have any more, and I need to make my queen quilt. And I was supposed to have calmed me down, and it's infuriating me.
I thought they were still gonna keep that one. And
this fabric here, I don't know if I'd be able to get, and I'm not going all the way over there just to find it.
Will their online things still be operating?
They're online. Don't even go there on their online. You remember when we ordered fabric from Joann's online?
Yeah, and some of their prices were ridiculous.
Not just that, but they double charged you.
Wow.
Yeah, so now I got to work out if I can.
Oh, you got an idea?
Well, I'm trying to make sure that I can get enough black out of this for this. Because sorry, baby girl.
Man, you got covered.
Should we show your fans the fabric I'm using?
Sure.
All right, so my quilt's going to be made out of this on one bit, which is queen. And then we got black and white queen on the other side. And then it'll have this fabric in between, and it'll be backed with black fleece.
Yep, but you know what? Let's move on.
Per game this year, 11.8 rebounds, 6 assists and 1.3 blocks to go with point 0.8 steals per game, and he is a menace on both sides of the court.
Wait. Hold up. I just thought about something. Because you said his wife, I did meet her there last year and
Yeah, I
stuff like
met her
that.
too.
Didn't she say that she was gonna
If I needed help to reach out,
oh,
which I did,
and that was the response.
and I got no response.
Oh.
The response was, she is busy and can't respond to everything that people send to her.
Wow. They need new people that's operating it and
That's what it is. They need to get decent staff to, help them.
right, because I think they thinking that people, go on there just like thinking like they fans or something like that,
Right.
but that's not the case. So yeah,
And I
they're
put, hello. I met her at the Black Birth Collective. She said for me to reach out in regards to if we needed any help with baby loss and this lot. I'm reaching out. We have, because of Different Wave of Light, we have an event coming up that we would wonder if she would like to either be a part of or send us a video statement that we could put up to encourage families and stuff. And she can't answer all requests at this time.
yeah, they need new people into that. They really do.
All right, my blanket's partly cut out now. I probably could go and sew it all during the time that you're doing the show. You know that, right?
Probably.
61% shooting from the field. Somehow
Okay.
he's shooting higher from the field than he is the free throw line. He takes the most free throws a game in the league, second in scoring in the league.
Yeah, and can't even complete the free throws.
Work together better and better, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it right here. And I know some people pointed this out too, and we thinking that it's probably mental for him, and the way his shooting motion is like, if he can like practice it, he can make a lot of his free throws. But it just comes to like when it comes to like the real game. One day he'll be going on the streak and only miss like free shots. He may end up making like 16 or 19 one night. Then the next night it'll be like 5 out of 12 free throws. So yeah, it's something with him mentally that is like affecting him. And the way he was shooting it too, like he like tried to lean over trying to like, I don't know if he was trying to get like an angle to try to get the shot up, but he does like this when he's about to shoot. Like he goes it straight, but he like turns a little bit and shoots it. And like he got it down, but I don't think he needs to turn and shoot. So whoever was his free throw coach for the past few years, they really need to like correct that and just saying like, I don't know what else to do. You can do a lot. So whatever on that part.
The first year wasn't as good as people thought, but then, started off the season 2-8. Then they locked in. Really nice pick and roll action right here. Nice read by Dame. And if you get it to Giannis inside the restricted area, just go ahead and get back on defense. And then once again, easy reads right here once the defender steps up. Easy drop-off pass for Dame Lillard to Giannis for the easy slam. Little behind the head dunk as well. Get some style points on that one. And then he has always been and always will be a menace in transition, just an absolute monster that nobody can stop when he's going downhill. He is the scariest side in the league when he's coming downhill. Now that LeBron's 40, he's also got a little bit of an isolation game, and he is so important for this Bucks team. They have a plus 5.2 net rating when Giannis is on the court versus a minus 3.1 when he is off the court. That says a lot about this man. And now we got to talk about the Bucks going out and getting some help. You see the Kuzma trade right here, Steve Middleton to Washington, and now Kuzma, a 6'9" wing with a 7-foot wingspan, is in Milwaukee. With Washington, he put up 15.2 points a game this year, 5.8 rebounds. And 6 games before the trade, he was actually hooping a little bit, 20.8 points per game, 7 boards, 43% shooting from the field, 34% from 3. He just hasn't been efficient at all this year. His first 4 games in Milwaukee have been decent, 16.8 points a game, 8.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists.
I do agree that there's times he's not like consistent, but at the same time, So was Dame, but he managed, to get, like certain amount of points a game and managed to still like do something. So although Kyle Kuzma is not like consistent, like we can say the same thing about Dame, but at least they are getting points on the board when it counts. And I think some of you guys that's like Chris Milton fans probably don't see that either because you think of like, oh, he missed the shot. Not everybody's going to shoot perfectly and still manage to get the numbers and shoot or made their shots at the right time. Like a lot of teams has like people that are good in the clutch situations. So I just want y'all to think about that and keep that in mind.
In 33 minutes. He's 29 years old, so you're getting 33 minutes of Kyle Kuzma compared to 23 minutes of Chris Middleton. I'll take
Exactly.
33 minutes of Kuzma because it allows you, you're a little bit younger. He's 29. He's also a decent slasher.
Yep.
Getting downhill, as you can see here against the Timberwolves, getting his best game or his best scoring game as a Milwaukee Buck. And then coming off the screen right here, getting downhill and finishing with the left over Rudy Gobert. Really nice clear out play here for Torian Prince just to get this going downhill with Kyle Kuzma to the left, coming off the Brook Lopez screen. Nice. And then once again, now he's going to get into his little mid-range game, tough step back there over Jaden McDaniels, who is a fantastic defender. And then Kevin Porter Jr. He also played very well in.
And maybe it's the weather outside that's probably doing all this. So I apologize, guys. But
In this Timberwolves game with the Clippers this year, he's averaging 9.6 points.
okay, before we talk about Kevin Porter Jr., I just want to add something that some people have pointed out today. Although Bucks still got one roster spot left, thanks to them, giving away Patrick Baldwin Jr. to the Spurs, which I thought they was going to use him because they'll have like a big another big guy that's like 6'9" that can play small forward, power forward. But I guess they ain't want to keep the hometown kid, or maybe they'll maybe go after him another time. So I understand it, although I don't like it, but I understand it at the same time. But what them saying that we needed like a perimeter guard, um, ain't that kind of what Kevin Porter Jr. is? And especially the guy that can play that's like a combo guard that can play point and shooting. Um, I think he's really underrated in his role, and like, and I hate when and I get sick and tired when people like bring out about his past or whatever. So I know it really ain't our business until it gets out in public. So people don't think about that. You probably don't want nobody to know about your business until it gets out in public, and when it gets out in public, you're gonna feel ashamed for it to go on. So if the guy can get like a second chance, like the Clippers gave him, well, before the trade, I think everybody should give him a second chance as well. And you know how some people in the NBA is, like, they have their favorites, then they have like people like, oh God, I don't even like this guy for what he did in this off the court. Well, off the court is their business. Whatever players do off the court is their business, not ours. You should be more focused on what they do on the court, not off the court. Because although it sucks that that happened, and I'm not going to make them be lesser of a person. It's just like if you learn from your mistakes and can move on, I'm cool with that. But I think there's just some people that they do something once, oh, they're going to do it again, or they're going to repeat as much as they do, or something like that. It just doesn't make any sense. And it's like, what kind of that just shows like what kind of person are you? Like to judge somebody, and you probably ain't no better than the next person. Just ridiculous. But I just had to say that.
Points, 3.6 rebounds, 3.2 assists in 19 minutes a game. Don't look at efficiency though; it is not good whatsoever. That really needs to improve during his time in Milwaukee. But He's got a nice mid-range game, and last night, or a couple nights ago before the All-Star break started, he put up 11 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists.
Yes, he
Both of them
did.
both not shooting from the field against the Timberwolves in their last game before the All-Star break. He's got some nice vision. As you can see here, finding AJ Green a couple times. These were mostly AJ Green, but he gets the assist, and then finding AJ Green once again, who we're about to talk about, fantastic shooter for this Bucks team. Really
Yup.
nice drop down there to Kuzma for the foul, and then he's going to get into his pick and roll. His jump shot is still kind of ugly from downtown, but he can get into that mid range, and he looks really, really nice. He's a great pick and roll scorer, whether it's from the mid range, he's got a nice float game, he can get all the way to the rim, or he can pull up from a little bit outside of floater range.
And that's why they got him.
If you made this part of the video, make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and a subscribe button. As you can see here, a large majority of people watching these videos are not subscribed to the channel. If that is you, go ahead and fix that. Now let's talk about, in my opinion,
Okay, I did subscribe to that. Just making sure.
Team, and that is Andre Jackson Jr. Now, you might call me crazy. He's only averaging 4 points and 3.2 rebounds, but he's shooting 47% from the field, 39% from three on one attempts. Not a lot of volume, but that 3-point percentage is very promising. But the reason that I like Ajax so much is his defense. Watch the ball denial right here. No sir, Shea, you may not have it. He's 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan and can just completely throw a wrench into opposing teams' game plans. Once again, right here, all over Shea. Shea throws it out of bounds. Now, this is great ball pressure, great on-ball defense. Sidestep three, no sir, you got to pass it. Now, Shea's going to get downhill, get him with a little shoulder bump, but he's going to recover and still force safeness. That late contest is very underrated. Once again, try and get him with that shoulder bump.
Yeah, some people don't see that.
But you never call it for Shea. I'm excited about Andre Jackson Jr.'s defense going forward. But you also got Torian Prince, who on the year is averaging 8 points, 3.7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 0.8 assists per game in 26 minutes per game this year, on 46% shooting from the field and 46% from beyond the arc. That's like second in the league this year. So shout out to Torian Prince, great for each addition. And then you got Gary Trent Jr., another guy, kind of like the Malik Beasley signing last year. This year, you bring in Gary Trent Jr.
But he's way better.
Deal, 10.3 points a game, 2.4 rebounds, an assist, and a steal in 25 minutes a night. He's probably their best two guard they've got on the team. 44% shooting from the field, 43% from three on 5 attempts. So that's why he is the starter at that position. And then you have AJ
Should be.
Green as well.
But we understand why.
He kind of burst onto the scene this year. Averaging about 8 points.
Well, kind of last year, but more this year.
21 minutes a night. He's doing that on 43% shooting from the field and 43% from beyond the arc on 6 attempts a game. And these are not all, easy catch and shoot threes. Some of them are. Some of them are in rhythm, easy shots. There's other shots like this that are not in rhythm. Step back, fading away into your own bench, knocking it down, or into the opposing bench, I should say. And then you also got guys like Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis. Brook Lopez, really, really nice center for this squad. And then Bobby Portis.
Yeah, but I think his day is probably numbered.
He brings a lot of energy. He's actually been scoring it pretty well and rebounding very well this year as well. Just didn't have enough time to talk about them as a whole, because with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like.
But I'm glad this guy did put like an outtake on what he thinks about the Bucks that did good in the trade deadline. Although you're gonna have some Bucks fans saying like, you shouldn't have traded Chris Middleton away. Like, y'all got to get over that and move on and focus on the here and now. It's like the games that the Wizards has played before All-Star break when they got Chris Middleton. They haven't been using them, so I think something is really wrong that that they end up decided, okay, we're gonna set out Chris Middleton because maybe his ankles still ain't right. So well, I can say this, like maybe the staff that that handled like his injury or something like that, maybe they did something wrong, or they should conclude to something that they couldn't even can check out. It's probably like one of those things like, what, let's rush him in. That could be what it is, because the fans was getting like impatience of Chris Middleton. But then again, it's like he's been injured for like, let's see, most of his career. It's like people want to bring out numbers that he did in the playoffs, but it's like this. Has he gotten us, like, they're gonna bring out like, the games that Giannis was out, he stepped up and got us to the like NBA Finals. That's one thing. But for the past 2 years when he was in the playoffs, has he gotten us past the first round? No, he hasn't. So like really, like sometimes numbers in the playoffs ain't gonna matter. It's gonna matter is do you succeed and get a win. So that's what's gonna matter. And I think just some people just don't look at that. They because there's fans out there that wants results, and like I'm with them with that. Like you want results, but I'm not going to take like the whole year away from the Bucks this year. They did win the NBA Cup, which the first team in the East to do it. Um, Although they're the second team overall to do it, but they're the first team in the East to do it. And I know some people think winning the NBA Cup is nothing because it's like fresh and new, but it would get used to it. Like just to say that the Bucks win it again in the 2025-2026 season. So let's just say they win it again, like back to back. They'll be the first team that have it back to back. Like although the Lakers couldn't do it last year because I don't think they ain't made it into the big four of their yeah, they ain't made it to the big four on their on the West with the tournament. So yeah, they wasn't even the big four. They got eliminated because at the time earlier in the season they wasn't playing that good. But the games that they counted for Bucks wise, they did very well. They was undefeated all the way through the whole tournament and the games they had to play and all that. Which the Lakers was did the same thing last season. They were end up being undefeated all the way through that tournament and the tournament games they play. So if the Bucks do it again, it'll be history making. Like the first team to ever played, like won the NBA Cup back to back. So it's like I'm not going to totally take this season away from them because they did make that accomplishment. And I know some people ain't making it big as it should be, but it is big. I guess probably the only thing I'm complaining about is they did hang the flag from the Raptors about it, but the problem is it just looks so plain. So I think they really got to do better in making like a better design for that. But that's my opinion on it. If we're gonna have more Buck stuff to talk about in the near future, we will. They do play tomorrow against the Clippers at home, so I don't think that's gonna be televised like TNT or anything like that. But I think it will be on. I think FanDuel Sports Wisconsin. So yeah. So, anyways, moving on from that, and a big subject that I really want to talk about is this idiot right here, the Brewers owner, well, majority owner, Mark Anstanio. Well, I guess they saying on here like clamp down on spending and keep winning, but for how long? And it's right. Like, how long is that going to last? It's like it's not going to last forever, and he's the only Bucks majority owner that's not a billionaire. No, he's the only owner in the MLB that's not.
Yeah, you said Bucks.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean Brewers. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did meant to say Brewers. Like the only owner in the MLB that's just a millionaire and not a billionaire. That's just crazy. Yeah, and they saying like Milwaukee Brewers owner Marcus Estanio. I'm sorry if I say his last name wrong. Keeps getting away with it. His front office is that true. His managers that skilled. His players that devoted to succeeding as underdogs. Yet he still continues to clamp down on spending. His team's migrate for errors keep shrinking, and if this season is a final like cost to the Brewers, he will deserve, if not most, of the blame. Which partly I didn't look at that, but then again, it's just like the comment that he made earlier today, which we will get to in a minute. But yeah, it's like you're not you had like great players, like the same thing you had with like Willie Adonis. You lost him to the the San Francisco Giants. Devin Williams were good, although he didn't have that great of a season last season. But you still got rid of him. Send him to, I think they sent him to the Dodgers because I guess he thought at one point he was going to the Yankees, but they sent him to the Dodgers, which kind of made them more dangerous. Like, are you kidding me? You just help out a National League rival. But then again, they kind of did the same thing with the for San Francisco Giants with letting Willie Adonis go and all that. So okay, they said two other free agents, left or reliever Grant Wolfram and righty Elvin Rodriguez signed for even less, and their deals are not fully guaranteed. Yeah, it's brutal in MLB. You thought when the NBA was like brutal, with their small market teams not won't be able to keep their players and they had to go like cheap and stuff like that. So I'm glad, with the new rule they got in the NBA that they have, you know, the salary cap will increase for everybody, not just for the big market team that can go overspend, but like small market teams that can compete and keep their player forever. So that's a good thing, and I think the MLB needs to take notes. And the same thing like with the Packers too. Like, but the crazy thing with the Packers, shareholders are the fans that owns the team, but you got stupid GMs and presidents that not willing to spend to try to get like a veteran, which they needed. And nothing against Aaron Rodgers, but although the last 2 years was not great for him, but they wasted most of Aaron Rodgers' career deploying or like relying on draft picks and not trying to get some veterans that can help these like young guys out. I know we was lucky like the past two seasons, well, past two playoffs, that we got farther than up to the divisional round, but we didn't pass the wild card this year because Philadelphia, although that was a close game, but Jordan Love really needed the help, and he was like really suffering because like classes to some of the players they couldn't catch him and stuff like that. That's why you need like a veteran wide receiver to like teach these guys the ropes, and they don't have a veteran wide receiver, which is the issue. The defense could be a little bit better, but it's not like a total loss. So their defense, is fine, but their defense can be better. But then again, they got rid of some of their excuse me. They got rid of some of their veterans, which is a big loss for Packers, but they really need to do something. Um, but you know, I guess they with the Stachio with the Brewers owner, so he did some right, but actually committed 215 million over 9 years for Kristen Yelich. But I guess the only thing he got to show for it because he was like in his first season with the Brewers, he was the National League MVP that year. So it's something. And probably the last few years, like he's always like been injured or have been hurt. But I guess not the saving, but the saving grace was we had other players that can play. So I guess we're just mainly looking at the other players that can really play and carry the team. So that's one thing. The rookie that we got, Jackson Turio, 82 million over 8 years, and I think he's 20 right now. So he got a lot of time left. And I can't wait. Like he's already coming like a good rookie sensation. Although it sucks he didn't win the National League Rookie of the Year, which I think he should. I think he was the first rookie that got like 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases in a single season. And yeah, like I got a feeling that Jackson Turio is going to get overlooked. So, but only thing they need, like they got Christian Yelich, helping for like leadership, but it's like just some of their players they got rid of, like some of their pitching, like can't even think of his name that they got from the draft, but didn't keep on until they traded him last year to Baltimore. Corbin Burns. I might have got the name wrong, but if I did, I'm sorry. But yeah, trading him, like trading some of your best pitchers because you too cheap to keep them. Like, if it's that bad that you can't keep a player that is that good, I'm not gonna say sell the team or anything like that, but give majority ownership to somebody else that is willing to spend the money, like another, like a billionaire, not a millionaire, but a billionaire. Like, just have them be majority owner, and you still, get some, some control of the team, but not as much that you're gonna cost the team by not getting anywhere. It's just really stupid. The team pay, well, let's see, Tuesday's in the news conference Tuesday, he said the team's payroll is approximately 5 million higher than it was the start of last season. So maybe you realize that you need to spend when you if you want to win like a championship. But we will get to that conversation in a bit because it was like I said, there's something else that that really got me mad for what he said. So we'll talk about that in a second. But let's see. He asked his front office to compensate, contemplate. I'm sorry, cost cutting trades a right-hander, Aaron Sala, who was earning 8 million, and reliever Dre Pamalas, which they wasn't that bad relievers, but it's just like they could have grown in the near future, and it's just really just stupid. But it's like here's the thing: his intent is to build a playoff team as cheap as possible, which is impossible. Especially you got like billionaire owners like the Dodgers, like they way over their pay rate with getting a lot of players, and the league, is letting them get away with that because it's like there's nothing they can do until they put like a salary cap into play, which they won't. But then again, you got some people that is like overpaid anyway in the MLB, so it's just kind of ridiculous at the same time too. So let's see, the Brewers hosted all three of their playoff games against. Yeah, they did because I think they had like the main. No, they had the they was third in the National League, and they get the host, like a wild card, team from a wild card, which was the Mets, and they won the first game, but they lost the last two to the Mets. Like unbelievable, really unbelievable. And they really got to like take that back. But you see, let's say often they reinvest the money back into the club. And Stachio, however, said Brewers' early elimination was more or less financial wash. You really didn't make any money in the wild card round. He said you make $1 or $2 million. That's it. By the time you cover expenses, I like this song too, but reading this more and more, it just let's just keep going. We didn't get to the part that what he said was like out of line yet. Um, might be that the bird. Okay, let me. Like I said, I did turn that down a little bit. So mainly, like, might be that the Brewers believe there is less incentive to aim for the number three seed or higher as a division champion when they can spend less, sneak in as the number six seed, and get it a hot like the Mets. You can argue there could be, but we had never had that discussion. He said you got to shoot to win the division. Okay, yeah, that's one thing to win the division. Like you won the division ever since you've been owner multiple times, And the only successful seasons you had was when you got to the National League Championship, where you were like, at one point, I think it's either 2000, no, 2011. Let's see, 2011. They went up to 6 games. I think it was against the Cardinals, and with the was it the 2019 season? I believe 2018 or 2019 season. That yeah, you did had like I think they were like second in the I think they were like second in the National League, but they end up making it to the National League Championship. But they was on the verge like getting eliminated. They did came back to the Brewers, like to Milwaukee, and played like the last 2 games, like game 6 to game 7. They won game 6, but they really just couldn't hold it together in game 7, which is just sad. Like really. Yeah, opening day, of course, still a month away. They got the Yankees, and after that, on March 31st, they start their season. I think it's against the Mets, I believe. That who they got when their home opener from that series, like going forward. Um, Still more than a month away. The Brewers can still add a free agent starter such as left-hander Jose Quinana. But let's see. But if you're a Stanio and you watch your team win the National League Central by 10 games last season after losing manager Craig Counsell, trading staff ace Corbin Burns. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. So that was the right name. And dealing with a prolonged absence of Yelich, which I can understand. Williams, yeah, he was out half the season, then came back. He was okay, but he had some of his struggles with certain games when he closed. And right-hander Brandon Woodruff will be back this season. And I'm just glad, they re-signed him instead of, just like, okay, we just gonna let him walk. Because, they let him go the off season this past season. But they changed their minds the last minute, signed him to a deal, okay, you're gonna be off, but you're gonna at least like help these young guys that are pitchers. You can like guide them and stuff, and
Alexa,
can't
stop
wait
the
till you come
music.
back, this coming season. So that would be, oh god, it happened again. Sorry about that, guys. It was like every nice.
Told you I could get the top of it done while you're doing the show.
Yeah, you did. Is it like every time she says the A word, like
Because I was
this?
listening to music while I was sewing.
Yeah, because this channel right here, WFSO 2, always cuts off
Because
and
it's attached to it, because it's a freaking Kindle Fire.
yeah, you don't hear her saying like Siri, then suddenly, doo-doo. Oh yeah, that probably would be the iPad. But anyways, okay, that's it for that article. So now we're gonna get to what half of everybody and myself are really upset about. So this was from Wisconsin Sports Heroics. I was trying to look for the article earlier today because I did read it, but I was just like, you know what? Let me try to find it on Wisconsin Sports Heroics, and hopefully they have it. So it seems like they did. From what I was like, I read this before we like got on the air. So okay, Brewers came out with a great season, but ended up winning the division, but still didn't make it farther than the wild card round. This before the last 7 seasons see Milwaukee take the crown, which yeah, that's true. But however, making noise in the playoffs has yet to be accomplished for the I would say from the past 4 seasons. Yeah, they didn't make much noise in the playoffs. Um
Should I show them?
yeah, you can show them.
I don't know if they're going to be able to see. But
If y'all can see, that's the blankets that she just made.
part of it. That's just the top.
Oh, okay.
I've got the backing to put on yet. Because that's not a blanket. It's a top.
I still call it a blanket
We
because
need a bottom.
I know, but it still look good.
But it's gonna have black fleece on the back of it, so it'll look, you know,
Right, which ain't nothing wrong with that.
it'll look really good then. But that'll go on tomorrow because my eyes were starting to go googly.
And it is 11 o'clock.
Is
So
it really?
yeah, 11 o'clock
Good
Central.
Lord.
Yeah.
Even the dog's are upset over there.
So yeah, we did have a lot to talk about today, and I think we're like halfway there. So let's see. Of course, Brewers, Dodgers, and Astros are the only teams in Major League to win at least 86 games in the full season of the past 7 years. But of course, at that point, Dodgers won two World Series and got four pennants. They that means they won the I think they the National League Championship. Um, of course, Brewers haven't been in the World Series since 1982, but actually they didn't win once. And like I said earlier, like there was at the end National League Championship like twice within you might as say about 15 years, and like they got crushed by the Cardinals in 6 games, but to the Dodgers,
Have the remote.
they almost had them, but it's just that seventh game when they was back here in Milwaukee not finished. Okay, so this is the comment that everybody is upset about. So some of y'all that's watching it pre-recorded can see it right there, and I know some of y'all that's watching live can't see it, but let's see. It's my job to win the World Series, he said, or is it my job to provide a summer of entertainment and passion in a way for families to come together? That was set everybody off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you can't do both. It's like y'all have to ask like, the state and the city and the county for like money because your millionaire self can't afford all the stuff. Or you can even ask some of the people that owns it as well to like chip in. So only thing y'all did, y'all probably put up, let's see, I think they put up like about 100 or 200 million towards like damages. Then the city and the county and the state had to pay for the rest out of taxpayers' money. Yeah, yeah. There's just some billionaires you just don't get. But at least with the Bucks ownership, they put their money where their mouth is, and it's just like I will say the same about the Packers, but it's just like ever since they won the Super Bowl in the 2011 playoffs, they made that you know, area of the Lambeau Field, like around it, they made it pretty good. And I know there's still a few things that they still gonna do, but at least they made that decently. But it just doesn't show when it comes, trying to get players. Like players want to come here, but you're just not willing to spend the money. That's just sad. Kind of same thing with the Brewers. So why everybody's upset about this is like one person ended up saying that we can do both. Put money through like something to have like good events in the summer. And two, why do you think about events in the summer? You should be thinking about what y'all trying to do right now, like trying to have like events going on all year round. With an empty area where y'all don't have anything around it but businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and not like bars or other places, or maybe like a smaller venue for something if you want to use it, that area for it. Although it took them a while to actually agree to that. Although they was acting funny about it, like no, we can't do that. But they send it wasn't just me they send this survey to, but they sent it to everybody else that were like Brewer fans or like buy tickets, and also season ticket holders. They asked this too, like should we make like a district like around like American Family Field? I think majority of everybody said yes, and they got it from like news reporters like that asking people. It's like yeah, that would be a good thing. Like, more people will come around here like in the off season. Like you have your businesses like the Liney Kugels buried yard open all year round, and you ain't get that many people going to it because only people can like drive there that can get there. Instead, people that get off the bus have to walk, like at least seems like from where they got to get off from all the way up to American Family Field, like it's a mile walk or something. So they really got to look at trying to get like stuff going on around the area and focus on the area. It's like they buying land, but it's like they're not doing enough with it. It's just sad. And I know y'all doing the winterization with the stadium, but if you would have got it done sooner, like you said, we would have been stuck. Not we could have had the well, like it's been done before, but we could have had the Royal Rumble next year. Besides, we might have to wait to the earliest, be like 2027. Uh, but then again, crazy things happen. But Saudi Arabia already got the Royal Rumble for next year, so only thing we can do now, try to bid for it for 2027. Let's see. It will just be a whole lot easier to compete for the World Series, he says. If revenue streams were a bit closer to the big boys, while the Brewers had drawn 2.5 million fans over the past 2 years, ranking ninth in the National League, and drew 3 million fans 3 times since 2008, their TV revenue is about 35 million. The Dodgers, in comparison, are in the middle of the 25-year, 8.35 billion TV contract, averaging 330 million every year. Um, yeah, another thing. I don't want to think small, but we never been able to do what the big markets do in terms of free agents and payroll. Gee, I wonder why we don't have the financial ability to bring in superstars. We try to hold on to wherever we can. Um, I think you're more concerned about keeping money than not like trying to put more money in there than you can make more money. Ain't that always a rule with some of these I think that used to be a rule a long time ago for like billionaires, but like billionaires and billionaires today, some of them, they rather just make money than try to spend it to help like a product or anything like that, which is like really kind of sad. But for the Stanzios to say anything other than yes when questioning if it's his job to win the World Series is a horribly wrong. Milwaukee fans have been itching for a championship ever since 1982, and it's extreme disservice to fans to not try to pull out a championship caliber team year in year out. So yeah, that's true. Just like I mentioned, at least have like a billionaire to buy some of it, and they can pour some money on there. Well, it's kind of like the same thing, with the I wouldn't say the same thing with the Bucks. When Mark Lazary sold his share to the other billionaire Jimmy Haslam that owns the Cleveland Guardians and also the Cleveland Browns, which half of the people here really hates that guy because of his dealings and stuff like that. But if the guy is like, I know they're willing to spend, but with this new thing with the first apron, second apron, and stuff like that, it just really like costing teams this much. And then again, it wasn't no millionaires or anything like that. It was the players' union that made that rule up. So you want to blame anything with that part, with the Bucks spending and things like that, you blame it on the players' union because that was their fault and their idea for that stupid rule. Okay, they just showing like where the bus were for the was it yeah the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 seasons. Um, let's see the 2018 season. Wait a minute, they didn't have that information up. I'm surprised. And I thought, you know, they and that was the season that they almost made it to the World Series, but it's just that one win away, and they just couldn't do it. So it was 2018. I thought it was 2019, but it wasn't. 2019. It was in the wild card, and they lost because the wild card like series they had for like one part. You only win one game, and you're in. Lose a game, you're out. Um, Same thing in 2020. You know, Although shockingly, they had a bad record, but they end up making it into the wild card and end up, and I think they extended the wild card at that point, which like it was like an 8 team, like a 16 team, playoffs. So 8 teams got in on the National League, and the 8 teams got in the American League. So yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, they managed to make it, and they end up losing 2-0. Okay, I forgot about 2021. But the 2020 was that COVID season. So, and I think in 2021, I think they didn't recover that much because I think they started letting fans in like later on that season in 2021. But of course they won the division that year, and they lost in the National League Division Series, which I think they didn't have to play the wild card. But yeah, they did lose 3 games to 1. In 2022, they were so close, but did not make it to the playoffs. That part, and then, of course, y'all see the past 2 seasons, they lost the wild card series. One, they lost 2-0, and they lost last year 2 games to 1. So yeah, that's sad. I know people want to put like fun and entertainment, so people can be like occupied and enjoy themselves while they living in the city. So that's cool and all, but you really got to put your money where your mouth is at times. And it just seems like Marcus Daniel is not doing that. And I think there's gonna be a lot of people this season that gonna go to the game and have like a sign saying like "sell the team."
You're going to go to the game with the signs and sell the
Hmm,
team.
that's not a bad idea. But then again, after this shenanigan that he said today, there'll probably be more than just me be saying that. But like, I go to the games to support my hometown team. Although they got good players, but you hate see some of the good players just like gone because the owner don't want to put no money towards them. It's just crazy. Like I said, sell it to the billionaire, and at least you have a billionaire that's willing to spend to make the team better. Not just a millionaire that just not even close to a billionaire and just whatever. But enough of that rant. If y'all want to comment below on this, we can talk about that too. So just let me know. This is the first time that I talk about the Brewers. But if y'all want me to talk more about the Brewers, let me know. Or probably talk about a season. During this coming season, maybe talk about them and go from there. Maybe do like a half an hour show about it, like the games, like do like a show once a week. But we'll see. Okay. Yeah, we're still going. And it's like almost like we're like yeah, past an hour and a half with this. Um, let's see. There was a few things that I wanted to talk about. Let's see. Can I find it? Oh, okay. Public hearing on the second proposal of that Deer District Hotel. So we can read that. So this is segment is like mainly about developments that's going on in Milwaukee. So let's see, and then kind of showed you guys last week, how the Moxley Milwaukee is looking. They did downscale it a little bit, as I mentioned, but let's see, what about their? Of course, it'll be their second hotel in the district, but maybe they can pull a little bit more. So who knows? Um, let's see. We are requesting the commission to hold a file here until issues around the land use and labor issues are resolved. Okay. Um, okay, I'm just looking for when it's going to be the second hearing. They pushing on trying to get to like the end of the year, probably somewhere around the fall to start construction, so it could at least be done by 2027. Which because currently the Bucks are making a play to try to get the All Star weekend here. Although we got pushed back with saying the new Bear Center ain't gonna be like big enough. You don't got enough conventions and things like that. And
Not enough flights coming in.
yeah, that was another problem too. Like we ain't got enough international flights coming in, and they say we ain't have enough 5-star hotels, which we don't have any 5-star hotels because ain't nobody rating them as 5-star hotels. And I don't think that the city doesn't care about having 5-star hotels.
God
The
of the sake, Kate will tell me that's not worthy of 5 star or the Astor
right,
or the Fister, all of that lot.
yeah, hotel they very
Because
well.
my thing is this: if presidents stay at the Astor, not
Mm-hmm.
Astor, the
Fisner,
Fister,
yeah,
then it's good enough for the NBA.
and plus you got baseball players staying at the Fisner as well.
Hmm.
Like seriously.
But come on, we've had the presidents stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they stay in Milwaukee, that's where they stay. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for the NBA.
Exactly. And we still having like more hotels like building up and building up. I don't know. Something with the NBA is just like a little bit funny. Ever since Adam Silver took over, like we got a new arena. We got like a new you know um convention site, and plus the Hilton is making like one of the parts of their buildings a convention site
Hmm.
since they knocking down hotel rooms or whatever. But regardless of them doing that, they still would be like the largest hotel and the hotel with the most rooms in the city, regardless. It's just like some people if they want to go to like other hotels around here, like got some brand new downtown hotels, so people they can check them out. Um, let's see. Okay, he downplayed. Okay, Pierre Fagan, the Bucks president, downplayed the concerns about parking. So yeah, and then I showed y'all like a picture. I think it was last week that they got like after they build the venue and also the hotel. They had this one space. I don't know if they're gonna do like parking or they're gonna make another maybe apartments or something like that. I don't know. So we don't know what the issue with that part as of yet. Yeah, okay, y'all can see it on this picture. So maybe just put it out there for people that's watching pre-recorded. Um, yeah, could you see kind of like this gray space right here? That after the venue and the hotel is built, they got this spot right here. Maybe they can use that, maybe for parking and other stuff. I don't know, but eventually, they're gonna do something there. So I guess it's just like the wait and see on that part. But they really didn't say when they was gonna have their Okay, the Common Council Zaman Neighborhood and Development Committee will review the proposal at a future meeting, which they didn't mention because they was talking about a new hotel pits labor groups against one another. Oh, okay, so that's meaning the main story about this one. But I thought I read that they was talking about a second meeting with the committee, but yeah, it's just like whatever. Like I'm glad they're making more hotels because people that may want to stay here in cases like concerts or other events that's going on like the Harley Davidson. Now they're doing their celebration every year instead of annually.
Annually is yearly.
Oh, sorry, I forgot what they called that. They have stuff every 5 years.
Every 5 years, we'll go with that.
Okay, every yeah, they're not doing like the celebration every 5 years no more. So it started with the year before in 2022 where they were celebrating. I think it was their 120 or 125 or something like that.
120. My parents were over here for when they went 100.
Okay, yeah, then 120, right? Then since then, they've been doing every year and stuff like that with the last 2 years after that, 23 and 24, and it's a big thing around here. So more people coming in, spending money, so and all this stuff. Although Harley Davidson is they a little bit struggling with their motorcycle sales and stuff like that, but
You
they're a
would
big
too.
hit.
You would too if you got the truck.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord,
And they dropped the DEI thing as soon as it was able to.
wow. Hey, how many companies are going to fall for that crap with Trump and I guess they paying the price more and more, so that just kind of sucks on their part because I
It's
think
going to
they're
be even from worse now that he's putting tariffs on steel imports and stuff. So
yep, and I think Harley Davidson is going to end up being worse and worse,
hmm
but their successful grace is that you got like true like Harley Davidson fans that really support them no matter what, but I will still go to their museum.
that was fun.
Yeah, but anything else, dope. But say after what you just said, dope. I will support their museum, but that's it. Um, okay. But anywho, guess we can move on to that. And I think this part is really not that much to talk about. That they saying like one of the new tendons for the ASQ Center that's on Plankinton and Wisconsin. That they're just gonna add another or they and Department of Administrative Service is gonna move into that building, and they were actually they were like not that far from there. Was it 633 West Wisconsin Avenue? So yeah, that. But they're saying they're going to release around 2,500 square feet on the sixth floor compared to 42,000 feet that they got at the old Clark building. Which I think the Clark building they said they're going to turn it into like yeah, I know the building they talk about now. That's going to turn into apartments. So yeah, I know they talk about. So ain't that much to talk about this one, but I just thought I'd just share that one. And one more thing to talk about before we end the show, which is is not on here. That there's rumors out there with who's going to play Magneto when the X-Men gets his like his own series and starts the mutant saga. So we already know X-Men will be the very first movie that they will release after Secret Wars. Um, we know that Denzel Washington is going to be on Black Panther 3 whenever they start to do that, which seems like it's going to most likely be after Secret Wars. But there's some people that thinking, that Denzel Washington will play Magneto. So here's the problem with some people. I guess there's some people like comic book fans that really stuck into, the Magneto and Charles Xavier story background, with the World War II and stuff like that. But if you stick with that same story and you're trying to do it by today's events, right now MCU is in 2026. So if y'all kept up with the times, like with Endgame and follow stuff after that, which I probably seen half of y'all probably don't follow, that how are you gonna put like characters? How are you gonna talk about the World War II stories and the characters that will be playing them will be like in their what like 80s or 90s or something? They're 90 years old or something like that. That wouldn't make sense. So it's like, cause you hear like some of these, comic book stories and stuff like that they do in the comics. They rewrite the story and change some things. So there's no way you can do like a comic accurate thing if you stuck to like the X-Men that was made from 2000 and then the franchise carry on. You won't be able to stick with that story. You had to come up with something different that's supposed to keep up with the times. Like maybe they can have something like, say like the no, I wouldn't use the Gulf War for example, but something like, maybe the 9/11 thing. They can probably use that. And because probably be like, I think it's over 20 years later, like they can use that situation, like how Charles and Eric had met up. Because if you're gonna still use the World War II situations, like you're really aging the characters and it just don't make sense. So I know some YouTubers were saying that, they shouldn't have had cast a black actor to play Magneto because it doesn't make sense.
Oh,
Okay, this is a new this MCU is different. It's a 616 because things can be different. And I think it's just sad, some comic book fans that, want to stick to the comics and stuff like that don't realize that some things got to change. It's like the same thing with the Captain America story. Steve Rogers passing it to Sam Wilson. Then you saw the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, his struggles like to, not he don't want to be Captain America because he think it wasn't right, but in it, taking a mental after the other Captain America, which is John Walker, end up did what he did, and he got punished from the army about it, and it just you just really got to stick with the times. Like the same thing, we got a black Captain America. It's good for like people in the black community be like they can get behind a superhero that they can be proud of. Like all characters don't always have to be white. And they can be, a character can be not Latino or the person can be, Asian or a superhero can be I already said Mexican, but say like Russian or something like that. But yeah, my point is like it don't always have to stick to like one race and you can call like somebody a superhero and stuff like that. You got a black Spider-Man for God's sakes that they're gonna use very soon. And it's just sad, some people are not sticking to the times and it's just sad that they get upset like because there was one point either before, this Magneto talk, they were saying a black person they thinking of could be, Charles Xavier. Okay, cool. Like as long as the story is good and make the story make sense, I'm all for it. But like the same thing, with the having Magneto played by Denzel Washington, although I don't think he's gonna play him because there's other ideas for him, like in Black Panther 3, that he's gonna play a villain
no,
in Black Panther. But oh,
I'm all for having a black Magneto, but not Denzel.
right, I was gonna get to that part because he's retiring soon.
Mm-hmm.
And you already say he have a few movie roles left. That was including Black Panther 3.
Now, I can see him in Black Panther 3
Yeah.
because he has that. You can pull off that grace. You know what I mean? Of someone in a position of power. I'm not saying he couldn't pull off Magneto, but Magneto, I can see British actor Albus
Hmm.
played in fucking Sonic?
I can't even think of his name. I know you talk about. Why I can't think of his name? Oh, the guy that voices Sonic.
Yes.
Oh, Ben Schwartz.
No, the other guy. He's a British actor, black dude, bald head.
I can't even think right now.
Did Shadow, I think.
No, he
Not
didn't do...
Shadow. The one before him.
Oh, Knuckles.
Yeah.
Okay, Idris Elba. Okay.
Yeah, Idris Elba. Him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see him as, because they also wanted him to be James Bond.
Yep.
I could see him do both. I could see him James Bond. I could see him as Magneto.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
You could pull it up. As I say, I can't see Denzel Washington. I can see him definitely in a really good role in Black Panther.
Yeah. Which, he did announce that he was going to be in Black Panther 3, but he didn't announce like who he's playing, because I don't even think he knows yet. Yeah, so I don't believe it's going to be Magneto, but even if it was cast by a black man playing Magneto, so what? Just make sure like the story is good, and because they don't have to always bring like World War II about it, because you're really like Asian, the character. If it got something to do, they was younger and around World War II times. Like they did that with the X-Men First Class and all that stuff. So you think they're gonna like do something like that for the third time, just to de-age them after that? It just doesn't make any sense. Why do you think the last X-Men in 2019 was like done in like the 90s, and after that, they stopped? Well, it ain't just because they was bought by Fox, but they kind of had to make their story make sense. The only story that would make sense like for a person that that being around World War II and like still like that can't age is Wolverine. That's only like one of the few people that you can use, because he got the healing factor and you can't even tell how old he is. So that's probably the only story you can do that with, is like with Wolverine, which I know they're going to cast a new Wolverine, but Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will still be there after Secret Wars, so he'll be around the Mutant Saga and stuff like that after that. And plus, there's going to be a time they're going to make another Deadpool and Wolverine collaboration, which they call it Deadpool Wolverine 2, which I just call it Deadpool 4. But that's just me. So he's gonna be more involved, and Hugh Jackman said he can do this for the next 10 to 15 years, and after that, yeah, that'll probably be perfect timing. Of course, the final episodes of Neighborhood Spider-Man is out for Disney Plus, which I didn't see yet. Let's see, they just talk about more about Daredevil. Although I thought it was going to be 9 episodes, but it seems like it's going to be 6. So on Wednesday, not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, it'll be episodes 1 and 2. March 11th, episode 3. March 11th, episode 3, and March 18th, episode 4. Then March 25th, 5 and 6. So we heard there was 9. So that's just something they done different. And of course, live action Miles Morales Spider-Man is in development. So that's good news. Well, hopefully, Marvel Studios will be behind that too. But anyway, so I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, and I think that's all that we need to talk about. So thank you guys for watching and hanging on to us for this long, although it's been like almost 2 hours. So didn't think we was gonna go that long, but had a lot to talk about. So I'm glad, and thank you to Really Ansi for joining on Twitch this past I would say a few days ago, I believe. But anyway, thank you for that. Please, follow us on Twitch. We do like a lot of live content, so stay tuned to that. After you guys on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We need 9 more subscribers to go till we get to our goal of 500. So hopefully we can get there by the end of next Friday. Check out the website wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com for video content like this. Other stuff that's coming up, like in the Midwest for wrestling. Also, photos we took of wrestlers and at Bucks events as well, and other stuff. So until the next video, you guys have a good one and see you later.